Don't you look forward to life in paradise?
Alright, Dorothy, I want to see if you can impress me.
I will have plenty of use for you in the future, Your Grace.
I just did the overzone, so we're gonna see how crazy she is. After passing Inert's test, I came back to Eden and stayed for a few days. Eden is a veritable paradise, one that the Ark aspires to become. Wide open grasslands, fresh air, trees abundant with fruit, and a breathtaking courtyard, with her standing right in the middle of it. But there is something dark. Dorothy. And Nikke resigning in Eden, who is angelic in many ways, yet can turn on a dime and become callous if the situation calls for it. She usually remains in this courtyard, standing in the spot where the sun shines brightest, and gazing off into the distance. She's alone right now. She seems so... What are you looking at? Do you have something to say to me? I'm admiring the apple trees. I was just admiring you. Well, should I feed into her ego? I was admiring you. Me? Don't you already run around with plenty of other Nikkes? Yes, I suppose. If you have nothing to contribute to this conversation, I'll be leaving. Dorothy leaves. My gaze lingers on her figure, then shifts to the courtyard. The sun shines warmly on the place where she stood, looking at what should have been a pleasant scene. Instead filled me with a sense of overwhelming sadness. Oh. How come Dorothy's hanging out in the courtyard by herself? Beats me. No guesses or anything? She's always been like that. She goes there whenever she isn't on a mission. But why? I just told you. I don't know. How should I know what she's thinking? Why are you so curious all of a sudden? She seems lonely. What are you? An amateur therapist? Oh, how so kind of you to be concerned. Whenever I see her, all I feel is exhausted and uneasy. Why is that? Are you in the same squad? I never said she wasn't. She may be one of us, but she's different. She was in the goddess squad. I'd rather avoid Nikkes from that squad. They aren't exactly the easiest to get along with, are they? I mean, come on. She was there when the Ark was first opened. She's like ancient. It's weird. She was? You didn't know that? Once the Ark was finished, the goddess squad stood guard at the main gate. They were to prevent any raptors from infiltrating the Ark. I heard a lot of Nikkes got killed. She's one of the few who went through the hellhole and lived to tell the tale. Pretty heavy stuff. The only reason I say she's hard to get along with is because she's the one behind Eden. Eden is her creation? Yep. And for that reason, everyone will do their utmost to please her, no matter what she wants to do. Oh, you just remind me of something. I should have never told her that I found that damn thing. Ugh, so annoying. What thing? Dorothy's been looking for it for ages. The last time we were wandering the desert as part of a mission, I was sure that I saw it near a radio tower, and that it was painted red. When I got back, I decided to tell Dorothy about what I'd seen. Instead of being thankful, she got mad at me for not bringing it back. Give me a break. It's not like I didn't try. There was no time. The moment I saw it, raptors were hot on my tail, and we had to get out of Dodge. If I could have, I would have brought it back to her. Why don't you go back and get whatever it was you're talking about? I tried, but the next time I was out in the desert, I couldn't remember exactly where it was. I searched and searched, but There was no sign of the radio tower whatsoever. What else could I do? I busted my hump trying to get that thing for her, and she hasn't shown me an one iota of appreciation. It really grinds my gears. At any rate, that's where she and I stand, so quit asking me about her. If you're so curious about Dorothy, why don't you talk to her yourself? Ask her why she's always standing there by herself. Spend some time with her. Noah leaves. Spend some time with her. The next day. I can't get that image of solitary Dorothy out of my mind, so I head back to the courtyard. What are you looking at? Huh? I'm not looking at anything. The day after. Can I have that apple that's behind you? Huh? Oh, sure. Take it. After a week of pestering her in this fashion, she finally reaches her boiling point. Why do you keep coming here? 'Cause you look cold. Me? What are you even saying? I nod. No, don't know what's gotten into your head. But Eden is climate controlled, not to mention the fact that I'm a Nikke. I don't experience cold like humans do. I meant that you look lonely. You think I'm lonely? Don't be ridiculous. Is that why you've been coming here every day? Yes. Ha! I knew you had a reputation for sticking your nose into other people's businesses, but this is beyond the pale. Lonely? So you think I'm lonely? And that's why you've been coming here every day? That's very kind of you. Do you really care about me that much? Of course. Very well. I guess I care about everyone. Since you apparently care so much about me, why don't you and I take a walk together? Right now? Why not? Since you've so kindly pointed out how pitiful my situation apparently is, I'm feeling a bit despondent. Hope you're impressed I was able to say that word. So I wanted to go out for a stroll. Surely as someone who cares about me, you wouldn't let me go outside all by myself. Let's go. I see. I didn't have to twist your arm. Perhaps you really are a caring person. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Uh-oh. What is she gonna do? As Dorothy and I head out of Eden, the unforgiving desert stretches out before us. This is the not so welcoming locale for our stroll. You want to walk through the desert? What's the matter? You're the one who was so afraid of me being cold. So I chose the hottest place I could think of. You don't like it? You remind me of a flower I've been wanting to see for a while now. We'll head back once we found it. What kind of flower? The flower is the one I have been searching for a long time. Noah said she saw some out in the desert. I happened to have some time off, and you invited me out for a walk. So, there you have it. Finding the flower will assuage my loneliness. That I can guarantee. Where exactly can we find this flower? That is the all-important question. I'm not 100% certain, but if we head in this direction for, say, about 5 hours, it may show up. Noah said that she saw it close to Eden. 5 hours? What? Is that too much to ask? Eden, your kindness has limits, I see. After all, you are still human. The most selfish of all creatures, who only thinks of their own interests and little else. It's not that. If you're not up to it, feel free to go back. I can go by myself. Now I'll go with you. Well, she... get that evil smile off your face. How kind of you. Try to keep up. Dorothy takes a few long strides forward. Not once during our saunter into the desert do we stop to rest. The blistering sun beats down on the desert sand. It feels like my throat is on fire. Dorothy doesn't even once look back at me during our jaunt. I find myself thinking about how nicely the other Nikkes treated me when we were out on assignment. My breath is becoming labored. My throat is dry as a bone. Dorothy! Yes? You're walking too fast! You gotta be kidding me. You call this fast? Then again, humans are typically slow as slugs. Perhaps this was an oversight on my part. I have not traveled with a human in some time. So, I've been neglecting to take proper care of you. We can stop and rest for a while. Thank you. I plonk myself down on the ground. Dorothy is staring at me. What is it? You're not upset. You've been driven to the brink of collapse. And it's all Nikke's doing. Yet you're not angry. Why is that? Because we're both exhausted. What? I'm not tired in the slightest. I've told you, Nikke's are different from humans. The heat does not affect me the same way it does with you. Your constitution is enviable. Huh? A human admiring Nikke's constitution? Sounds like someone... sounds like something he would say. Who? Nothing. Dorothy stands up in a hurry. Let's get back to it. So soon. It'll get dark soon. We can't waste any more time. Alright. Dorothy starts picking up the speed. I stand up and try to catch up to her. We walked and walked, but there was no sign of the radio tower Noah mentioned. Nor the white flowers that were supposed to be growing near it. All we can see is the debris from class buildings and red scrap metal. Phew, it's a scorcher today. My throat feels a bit dry. Do you need water? I hand over my water bottle to Dorothy. No. Nikkes are not humans. We don't need water. That doesn't mean you don't feel thirsty. I try to offer the bottle to Dorothy again. Don't you worry. There's enough for both of us. Very well. Dorothy takes the bottle. Gulp. Feeling refreshed? Extremely. Thanks. I take back the bottle. Gulp. I feel rejuvenated. We've walked quite a way, and still there is no sign of it. Maybe Noah's eyes were playing tricks on her. Could you ask Cecil for the coordinates of Noah's last assignment? I didn't want to bother her with such a frivolous request. How would it be bothering her? You two are squad mates. There's nothing wrong with asking her for a small favor. Squad mates? Cecil may be part of Eden, but she's a human. How could a human and a Nikke be on equal footing? You really despise humans, don't you? Dorothy sneers. Sneers? She freaking sneers. Of course I do. Like, don't get me started. Maybe, maybe not. What if I do? Are you going to quit being so nice to me? So, you do hate humans? Yes. Is that not allowed? That's great. Huh? So long as you don't hate me. What kind of warped logic is that? Ha! What a strange human you are. You've laughed a lot today. Huh? Me? Laugh? Don't be absurd. And in front of a human? Dorothy? Noah must have made a mistake. Let's head back. What about the flower? Forget it. It's not that important. I'll find it eventually. Let's go. Dorothy stands up. It's then that I start to recall what Noah said. I'm sure I saw it near a radio tower that I painted red. Give me a break. It's not I didn't try. There was no time to mow and raptors hot on my trail. Get out of Dodge. Radio tower encountered raptures. Huh? I look around. All around us are piles of red-colored scraps of metal and broken antennas. I think I found it. You found what? Let's check over there. Huh? I'm gonna break her. she's gonna only like me. She wants to be admired? Well, guess what? You can only admire me. I lead Dorothy towards piles of contorted metals and scrap. I think this is the radio tower Noah was talking about. Huh? Noah told me that shortly after she saw the radio tower, they were ambushed by raptors. So, it was toppled during the fighting. That's my guess. If I'm right, it should be... I take a closer look at the debris. Underneath, there is a barely visible piece of white flour. Fortunately, not all the pillars collapsed, so some of the flowers are still preserved. Found it. It's really there? I stick my hand into the twisted pile of metal and try to reach the flowers. The debris is too much of a tangled mess, and I come up short just by a hair. I can't reach them. I push and pull at some pieces of debris. Clink! Ugh! The fending piece of metal in the way starts to move. All we have to do is get this piece out of the way. Why are you doing all this? What do you mean? Why are you going to such trouble for these flowers? Don't you get it? I only brought you out here to teach you a lesson. That was the whole point of bringing you out to the desert. I know, because I've been pestering you for the past few days, right? So you know the reason. Be that as it may, you really did want to find the flowers, didn't you? What? You'll feel less lonely with it. Is that the only reason you're doing all this? I push away the scrap metal. Clink, you put yourself in this position. I'm not lending a finger to help you. I know. I push the scrap harder. Clink, you do realize making that racket like that could attract raptors, don't you? Once they get near, they'll detect there's a human present. Are you okay with that? You'll protect me. What? I know you got my back. I'll do no such thing. I'm not afraid. I will not protect you to protect a human. Clank. What a fool. Bang. I finally get the offending piece of metal out of the way. Whew. I stretch out my hand, reaching for the flowers. Snap. I pick one and give it to Dorothy. Is this the flower you were after? Dorothy takes the flower. No. Huh? Not this. This isn't the flower I was looking for. It isn't? I'm looking for a liliewis flower. Not some nondescript wildflower. It appears Noah was mistaken. I see. This entire trip has been a waste of time. Look at it, so evil. He worked quite up a sweat. Quite up a sweat. You worked up quite a sweat. Too bad. All that hard work for nothing. Oh well. Is that all you have to say? Nothing else? What should I say? How about... I just busted my hump, and all you did was sit on your ass and watch. Not only did you not lift a finger to help, you actually derided? I think it's derided. Derided me. How can you be so ungrateful? Or some variation of that, peppered with healthy dose of profanity throughout. There's no reason for me to be angry. Enough of this Mr. Nice Guy act. I know it's all just that. An act so that you can try and get close to me. You said you felt lucky that I was sick of humans. But that's not you in particular. Well, let me tell you something. You're the one I despise. So stop following me around and bothering me. Have I made myself clear? You say that, but your face is telling me another story. Huh? Why are you pushing me away? You're forcibly convincing yourself that you have to hate humans. Ugh. But deep down, you still want to have love for humans. You love them more than anyone else, and you want to be loved by them. Shut up! That love is still there, but you're trying to deny it. And that's the source of all your pain. That's why you feel so lonely. I said shut up! Huh. How could someone like you understand me? You say I love humans? And that all I want is to be loved? Well, to be honest, yes. Yes. Listen, well, of course, I could... The other stories and stuff. So, alright, I know exactly what you want. You want to be loved by people. And that bit about me still being capable of love. Ha! You certainly got away with words. You should have gone into poetry and not military. The only thing is, you don't have the propensity required for a poet. Dorothy points her gun at me. Tell me, while you people hid yourselves in the ark we created, living a peaceful and carefree existence, we've been up on the surface fighting for our lives. You think raptures is all we can kill? Think again. We're not like the Nikkes inside the ark. Nikkes from Eden can kill humans whenever they wish. Finally, you shut your trap. Let's keep it that way. Don't try and comment on things you couldn't possibly understand. I don't need some bargain bin guardian angel. Having said that, you are still of some use to me, so I won't ditch you for now. Dorothy lowers her weapon. I've notified Isabel. She'll come to pick you up shortly. Go back to Eden with her. I no longer wish to be in your presence. Thud. Dorothy drops the flower on the ground and leaves. I gaze at the flower blankly. Later, Isabel arrives just as Dorothy said she would. Oh no. Isabel's gonna abduct me. Help me. Oh, Rappy. Commander, are you alright? I heard you and Dorothy went to the surface and Isabel brought you back. Word travels fast around here. Was there an issue with Dorothy? I'm not entirely sure myself. Commander, let me ask you something. Do you know what happened to the Goddess Squad when the Ark was first completed? When the Ark was just completed? Do you mean Operation Guardian, Ark Guardian? What Operation's Ark Guardian? Operation Ark Guardian was enacted to safeguard the Ark until all remaining humans were safely inside. A line of defense was deployed in front of one of the remaining entrances to the Ark. The assigned Nikkes were instructed to fight to the end. After that, the last of the humans were safely in the Ark. The members of the Goddess split up and went into hiding. No one knows what happened to them after the operation, not even if they're alive or dead. No one ever showed them an ounce of gratitude for what they did. It would appear so. The Ark was struggling at the time. The Nikkes of the Goddess Squad were designated as MIA. To this day, no one knows their whereabouts. I see. I remember my desert sojourn with Dorothy. How about I just busted my hump and all you did was sit on your ass and watch? Not only did you not lift a finger to help, but you actually derided me. How can you be so ungrateful? Or some variation of that, peppered with healthy dose of profanity throughout. The way she saw it, I wasn't being recognized for my act of devotion towards her, so I deserved to be upset. How could someone like you understand me? You say I love humans, and that all I want is to be loved. In that bit about me still being capable of love, I can still see the pain expression on her face when she tried to deny it. I'm once again stuck by Dorothy's sheer desolation, in the image of her standing alone in the courtyard. All the records from the time no longer exist. I'm only going on my memory, and that's all I remember. Well, activate Red Hood and bring her here so I can talk to her. Do you want me to look into it further? No, that's all I needed. I already know what I need to say to her. I had to Eden to find Dorothy. Dorothy is standing in the sunlit courtyard as usual. I quietly, all alone. You again? Do you crave for punishment? Or perhaps you derive pleasure from irritating people? I'm here because I have something to say. You? To me? Yes. I think you said plenty out there by the tower. Don't you think I won't shoot you just because we're here? Thank you. Huh? What is this? Thank you. For everything you've done for the Ark. Huh? It was your sacrifice that allowed us to survive in the first place. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. What are you talking about? What makes you think you should thank me for that? Is there something wrong with you? If I'd known what had happened back then, thanking you is the first thing I would have done. I may be a bit late, but I've come to thank you now. You're thanking me? A bit late for that, wouldn't you say? Who do you think you are? You think you can stand in for the entire Ark? No, I'm just one human being. Then what are you trying to say? You are nothing. You know nothing. We go for a little outing and suddenly you think you know everything about me? How could you possibly understand? My hate, my anger. Trying to kiss up to me and fall in line, are you? What's the matter? Is Eden so great that you don't want to go back to the Ark? Or are you really afraid that I'd kill you? Is that why you're doing this? I'm really stating that what needs to be said. What should have been said long ago. No, stop it. Stop it! A mere human being. A mere human being? After all these years. What do you think you can change? You really think coming here with a look on your face will magically make everything better? No, I don't. Then why? The fact remains, this is something that needs to be said. The only reason I'm alive today is because of the sacrifices you and other Nikkes made. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the devotion you and others showed. Your love for humanity is undeniable. Some way, somehow, I want to repay you. I don't need anything from humans. Humans are cowards. Without Nikkes, you're terrified of being killed by raptures. Without Nith, you're terrified of being killed by Nikkes. Nothing but a sniveling bunch of cowards. Yes, we are cowards. It's in our nature. You can criticize us all you want. Call us hypocrites. Call us whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that it's thanks to you and your fellow Nikkes that humans, cowardly as we may be, are still alive today. Also, Dorothy, you were a fucking human once. Liar. Liar. God damn it. Liar, liar. Where's Anakin? Liar! I don't want to hear any more of this. If you don't go, then I will. Satisfied now? You should be. Dorothy leaves. Dorothy is standing in the courtyard. It confused me for a second. Dorothy is standing in the courtyard. This place was built in lockstep with her vision. Tranquility enshrouds this place so completely that it is easy to forget the strife still taking place up on the surface. Dorothy basks in the warming sunlight that she always longed for. She has everything she could possibly want here, and the horrors of war no longer perturb her. God damn it, man. She resides in a place that has nearly everything she ever dreamed of, but she's still lonely. Much to her consternation, There's still a chill in the air that stubbornly clings to her. It wasn't like this the last time I went for a walk. Dorothy is referring to the human a few days earlier, who has accompanied her every thought since. A commander very similar to her former commander. A person who reminds her of the past whenever they are together. A guest of Eden and a good worker. An outsider from the Ark. A liar that poisons the minds of others with duplicitous words. A parasite that latches onto those in his vicinity. A human. Russell. Hello! I want to say goodbye before I go back to the Ark. This will probably be the last time I talk to you in Eden. Just try not to be alone all the time. To welcome others into your heart is to truly step into the sunlight. Do you ever stop babbling? Goodbye. The human turns and walks away, leaving Dorothy behind. Dorothy doesn't turn around. She doesn't want to see the look in their face. She walks forward. But deep down, you still want to have love for humans. Dorothy stops. You love them more than anyone else, and you want to be loved by them. It was your sacrifice that allowed us to survive in the first place. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You liar! Thank you for everything you've done for the Ark. Lies. All of it. All of it! You set this up! It's all bullshit. All of it! They're just trying to get close to me. So they can use the power that I have. So they can stay in Eden. So that I'll help them. Because they're all cowards. Yes, we are cowards. It's in our nature. Dorothy's memories come rushing back. The day of her first victory as a Nikke. A small child had timidly approached her with a bunch of flowers. Cheers rang out in the background. The child was beside herself with nervousness, and after taking a deep breath, looked up to Dorothy, took her hand and said, "Thank you. You saved our lives. Got us a victory, Nikkes. Thank you, Dorothy." Torrents of praise were showered upon her. Yes, she once loved them. She once loved everything about humans. Their inert inability to survive on their own. Their cowardice. Come, wait. I'm gonna stand up for humans here and say that we are cowards sometimes, but we're also not cowards in other times. You can forget that these cyborgs are also humans and have human emotions, because they were once humans and are basically humans, but are robots. So it's like, why don't you stuff it? I'm pro humanity. All right. I'm not one of those people that sides with the fucking bugs or the aliens or the robots or whatever. Okay, I don't care. We'll ruin this planet before we let it to fall in the hands of some alien. She once wanted to protect them, wanted to save them from evil threats that meant them harm. That was what she lived for once upon a time. All the more reason not to forgive them now. But that, as it may, you really did want to find this flower, didn't you? You'll feel less lonely with it. In the past, she acted out of love. Dorothy turns around. That human who reeks of hypocrisy. That craven and gutless wretch. Humans. Those poor defenseless creatures she once wanted to protect. Have come back to Eden. The very place she has sworn to protect. Staring at the figure fading into the distance, she says, "You're right. You win. In my heart, I can still find love." Dorothy. And then she turns around. "No, keep going. Goodbye, my dear." Dorothy walks forward. Once a stone begins to tumble down a hill, it cannot be stopped easily. It will roll and roll until it eventually falls into the hole that will be its new home. She will never stop. Not until she finds a place she can call home. Goodbye. No matter how much she yearns to be loved, no matter how alluring the person she encounters, she will not stop. Isn't that right? Oh. Pine. Before these wings carry you back to the Ark, they will first fly towards paradise. Yep. Still remembers her.
Don't you look forward to life in paradise?
Also, I will say, I find her, this outfit rather interesting. Especially because of
We've really
this.
come a long way, haven't we?
And I didn't even realize that it,
Talking about the good old days never gets old.
it's a Pine plushie right there. I was almost wondering, I'm like,
Even
who is
today's
that?
meeting will one day become a treasured memory.
Oh, that was really short.
We've really...
If I'm also, I'm gonna bring up something. So when they actually first introduced this outfit, her butt was more covered, and they they uncensored it so that you can see more.
Talking about the good old days never gets old.
Which makes sense because
So long
oh,
as
come on,
we
you can
share
see
a
her.
common goal,
You can see
we
her
can be
underwear in
together,
this
man.
one. I still don't know how I feel about her. I'm so mixed on her. I don't trust her. Well,
Don't you look forward to life in paradise?
that was Dorothy.